What's up, everybody? Okay, let me start with that. I hope you all are enjoying this beautiful Thursday, and I wanted to start by saying I'm sorry. Okay, I've been missing in action, but it's definitely for a good cause, and that's why I wanted to address everything, or not even address everything, but that's why I wanted this episode. Like, you read the title, you already know what you get into. I wanted this to be the episode that I accomplished or touched on when I came back, because I've been missing, and I did a very impromptu, sorry ass what is it called? I did a break. I took a little break, and I'm not proud, and I started something up and I abandoned it. But that's why I wanted to make this podcast, because this is something that I feel like a lot of us who are building brands, who want to build a brand, who are actually running a business, we have this issue. It's something that affects all of us, and that's why I wanted to touch on this. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy this podcast, and I hope you all can, have these conversations with people in your life and hold them accountable, because consistency can be very challenging, to say the least. And I just wanted to give you all some tips and some tricks that can help you along your journey. So I really want to establish, some things before we even jump into my tips and my tricks. So I want you to understand the importance of not having to be on all the time. In this social media world, we get so wrapped up in, oh, this person is doing this, and this person is doing this, and this person is doing this, and I'm not doing enough, and that's very, you're being hard on yourself. And just because it looks good on the gram, that does not mean that that's the truth. You cannot compare your real life situation to the shit that you see online. Some people are not keeping it a stack on the internet. They are showing you the best of the best of the best of the best, and half of the time it's not even necessarily a reality. I think it's very important for people to understand that Instagram is a lot of people's highlight reel. Social media is a lot of people's highlight reel. And I really want to stress the importance of understanding that comparison can be the thief of joy. And if you are constantly comparing yourself to someone else's journey, someone else's path, and the things that they're doing and their successes, you will never be happy in what you have going on, because you're so focused on them that you're not even tending to your lawn, you're not even driving your car in your lane, you're legit worried about somebody else and what they have and their grass and their lawn. That's intended for them. The only way that you can truly see results and be happy and to be successful is if you tend to the business that pays you and that minds you, and that's your business. So worry about your business. So I wanted to preface that and just really touch on that, because I think that that's a big thing that keeps us from being consistent, because we start something up and then we see somebody else starts doing it and they're doing it better than us, they're gaining traction, and your shit is not popping off how you thought it was. And it's kind of like, okay, shit takes time. Be graceful to yourself and understand that this is your journey and it's no one else's. So I also wanted to touch on some things because this is what personally affected me from being consistent. And I'm not going to use this as a crutch, but I want to be completely transparent, and I know a lot of people can agree. So after graduation, I graduated this past May of 2019. This shit is crazy because I feel like I just graduated, but life goes by quick as fuck. So I graduated this past May, and I was depressed in school. I had been depressed, I would say. I had bouts of depression. I've had bouts of depression since probably high school, but college is when shit definitely hit the fan and got a little bit more hard on me. So I would definitely say towards the end of my senior year, my depression probably got, I won't say severe, but it did get a little bit worse. And then y'all know post-grad depression can be very, very real, where you feel like you're not doing enough. I almost felt like I wasted 4 years of my life for me not to have a paying career after graduation. But it's so crazy and it's so ironic how, when I was graduating high school, I told myself, I'm not gonna work for nobody else, I'm gonna work for myself. And you got to be careful with that tongue, because that's legit what fucking happened. I applied to mad jobs, and that's not my path, that's not my journey. But I was in a space where my depression was getting the best of me, and I just didn't feel like doing shit. I didn't feel like doing nothing. I felt like creating content, I just felt I got to a place where I was like, I don't even think people want this no more. So why should I create? You know, why should I do this if nobody wants it? Why should I be consistent? You know, and it also got to a point where I literally could not physically get out of bed. Like I would spend days and days and days and days in bed, just in the dark, watching other people's YouTube, watching all of Grey's Anatomy. I watched all 16 seasons of Grey's Anatomy. I think that's how many, I don't know, I watched all the Grey's Anatomy seasons, but I got to a space where I allowed my depression to get the best of me. You know, I had to move back home with my parents, and I almost felt like a failure in that situation too. But it's like, no, bitch, you had to get your bread up. You know, you had to get your shit together. And I think a lot of times we feel super pressured as Black people, you know, to have it all together at once. And I really want to stress the importance of, you don't have to have it all together. You don't have to be all always on, and just go at your own pace. Just go at your own pace. And you know, I'm actually in therapy now, and that's definitely helped a lot. So I would definitely say, if you are, you know, struggling with depression, I can't clinically tell you what to do, or like, I'm not a doctor, I can't tell you what to do, but I think it's very important to kind of identify what are the things that keep you down and are keeping you from, you know, reaching your fullest potential. And for me, I definitely understand that I needed some more clarity out of life, but also I was depressed, and I no longer wanted that to be my excuse to not make my dreams come true. So when it comes to, you know, your path of being consistent and wanting to create consistent content, or wanting to be, you know, consistent in your brand, whether you're an artist, a photographer, anything that you want to do, it don't really matter. You know, everybody's not a content creator, everyone's not an entrepreneur, but if you want to be great at anything, you really have to establish what it is that you want to do. You know, you have to be very clear and concise in what do you want to accomplish. You know, my biggest thing is people be like, oh, I want to rap, I want to be a rapper. You could say that all damn day, but if I've never seen your ass in the studio, I don't believe you. I've never heard your songs, I've never heard your music. You don't want to be a rapper. I can say I want to be an athlete, but I don't get up to exercise. I don't, you know, eat healthy so that I continue to stay fit. You don't want it. You have to be clear on the things that you want. And I think that sometimes it's very hard for people to identify those things, because it's so many, you know, people out here being successful. A lot of times people get so clouded by, you know, what everyone else is doing, they don't know what they want from themselves. I think it's important, like, even if you can't even remember what you, or even think of something that you really want to accomplish, I will always say, kind of go back to the things that you enjoyed in your childhood and try to, you know, touch on those things and kind of like find those roots. One thing for me, like growing up, I really enjoyed entertaining. Like I would sing music. I can't sing that good. Well, people think I can sing, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But I loved being on computers. I loved to read, still do. Love being on computers. And I just loved anything, event planning, all of those things. That's what I loved as a child. And those happen to be some of the very things that I'm able to do today. So if you don't know what it is that you want, try to revisit your childhood, but also try to think of things that people call on you to do, you know, and then start to narrow those things down to things that you actually enjoy doing. And when you do it, it does not feel like work. And from there, you have to just continue to do it. That's just what it is. So I would also like to say, like, once you figure out what it is that you do enjoy and what it is that you do want out of life, it's very, 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 very important to set goals and intentions. You know, a lot of times people, they say that they want to do something. For me, I've definitely learned that there is so much power in the tongue. So I like to say, or I do say, that I will accomplish this, I will do this, I will make this happen. I also think it's very, very, very extremely important to set short-term goals, mid-term goals, and then long-term goals. It's important that you have like building blocks when it comes to the shit that you want out of life. I'll give a perfect example. I know that I want to be better with my finances, and I want to save more money. So I have to, in order for me to accomplish that big goal, because you know, wanting to save a lot of money or make a lot of money, or you know, anything dealing with something so monumental like that, it has to start from something small. So if I know that I want to be better with my money, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna evaluate my finances, right? I'm gonna see where are some places that I spend excessively. And then what else am I gonna do? I'm going to cut back in those places. I'm going to set a budget. So that's a short-term thing that I can do that can eventually turn into a long-term goal. Another example I can get. For me, I want to be more consistent now with my content. We're gonna get into that. What are some things that I can do for me to be more consistent? I decided to create a actual routine and a schedule that I can stick to. So on these days, I'm going to film 3 videos in a day, and then that following day I'm going to edit those 3 videos, and now I've created bulk content that I'm able to produce. So if I film 3 videos in one day and then I edit those videos the next day, I now have 3 videos for my YouTube, you know? So that's a way to do something small, but it can eventually lead to something larger if you allow it to. I think that's very important to establish, you know, some goals that you have up front when it comes to what you want out of life, so that you can reach those big goals. You can't reach the big goals if you don't do the small goals. Okay, lastly, okay, no, this ain't lastly. I think it's also very important to establish your core values. What do you stand for? How can you be consistent? How can you be persistent? And how can you honestly be disciplined and make shit happen if you don't even know what it is you stand for? You know, so some examples of some core values will be, you know, you believe that honesty is essential in life. You believe that, you know, it's important for you as an individual to create a space for other people like you to thrive. You think that collaboration is key. You believe in, I don't know, sustainability. Everyone's core values looks different, but you have to know what you stand for. It's very important. I mean, ultimately what I'm saying at the end of the day is you need to be aligned. That's the only way you can be consistent, is if you are aligned. And to me, alignment looks like, you know, putting yourself in a space and in a position to, you know, if things do not serve you, and not even in a selfish sense, but if things do not, if they're not aiding your ultimate goal, you do not need to involve yourself with them, because at the end of the day, that's just distractions and we don't want those. So staying aligned and being aligned means that you know what you want out of life, and anything that doesn't deal with that, you're not fucking with it, period. All right, so let's get into my tips, my tricks, and all of that good stuff. So consistency, that's the first thing we're going to talk about. Everybody says that consistency is key. You know, they always scream consistency, consistency, consistency. I say that shit too, but what is it, and how can you obtain that? You know, it's easier said than done, and I've said it a lot of times, and I've had the tools to the success, but it's all about execution at the end of the day. So consistency, it's an adjective. It's acting or done in the same way over time, especially so as to be fair or accurate. So I'm going to give you all 6 ways to remain consistent. So I would say number 1 is to stay committed. Y'all in a relationship, you and consistency in a relationship, and when you decide that, you know, shit is getting too hard, shit is getting too rough, you go cheat. You go cheat on consistency and you start lacking on the shit that you're supposed to do. Why would you do that? Now you over here upset because shit is not, you know, your results are not how you want them to be because you decided to give up. So you have to stay committed and understand what it is that you want to obtain out of this goal that you set forward for yourself. The whole reason that you're being consistent, you know? So stay committed and understand that no matter when shit gets rough, whenever shit gets rocky, you understand why you're doing what you're doing. Number 2, build a routine. I can't even really stress the importance of routine. It's vital. You know, I've been in school since I was 3 years old, so I've always had a routine. You wake up, you eat breakfast, you go to school, get on the bus, come home, do your homework, go to sleep. Same thing, same old time. In college, you definitely have a little bit more leeway, like you have a schedule, but your life, your schedule kind of revolves around your life, opposed to, you know, when we're in high school, middle school, it's more so your life revolves around school. In college revolves around your life in a sense. So I have been so used to being in that type of routine. When I graduated and just honestly just maybe earlier this week, I found I'm in the process of finding an actual routine that serves me and that works for me. You have to be concise and very clear on what it is that you're doing with your day and how you are allotting your time. For me, I don't want to sit here and work on the same project for 5 hours. That's taking up entirely too much of my time. I want to be able to utilize my time the best way possible and for pretty much get the most that I can get done with my day. So building a routine also, you know, it's like exercising your mind. If you do the same thing, it's a habit. You keep doing it every single day. That's even building into your consistency. So if I know that if I wake up at 6 a.m., I wake up, I read for an hour, I journal, and then I go for a walk, and then I come back, have breakfast, boom, and then now it's time for me to get answering my emails. When you do something like that every single day, your brain, it's a pattern. It recognizes it as a pattern, and I won't even say that it's necessarily comfortable, but it acknowledges that you have stability in your life. When your life is chaotic and everything is so sporadic, and I'm not against spontaneity, I think that's how you pronounce it, or just, I'm not against things being spontaneous, but you have to have some type of order to your life. For me, I know that if everything is fucking chaotic, I can't get shit done. If my whole life is out of whack, it's out of order, I don't want to do nothing. I get so overwhelmed that I can't even. So build a routine, stick to it, try your best to stick to it. Don't beat yourself up if you can't stick to it, but don't veer so far away from it that you a lost cause. Okay, stick to your damn routine. Build a routine. Number 3, never stop learning. There's too much information in this world. There's too much knowledge, too many wise people in this world for you to think that you're the only person who has all of the answers, you know. It's very ignorant of anyone to think that they know everything. You know, I went to school, yes, I have a degree, and I don't mean to keep talking about that, but that doesn't mean I know everything. You know, I do a lot of research when it comes to the things that I'm interested in, when it comes to the people that I'm interested in, when it comes to any type of topic that I'm interested in. I try to make sure that I can educate myself as much as possible so that, you know, in the event that I'm able to expound upon that information a little bit more, I have a well-rounded view and perspective on the information that I'm provided. Nobody wants to have I personally don't want to have a conversation with somebody who's only gathered information from their perspective. I think it's important to have a well-rounded view and then just know a little bit more than surface level about any topic or any industry or anything that you're interested in. You know, it's so much that you can, the more that you know, the better, you know, and if what's unimportant, just toss it out. But you have to always aim to continue to educate yourself, because knowledge is key. Knowledge is power, and that's one thing that people can't take away from you. They cannot take your knowledge. They can take your money, they can take your house, your car, your bitch, your nigga. They can take anything. They can take all of that, but they can't take what you have up top. So always, you know, aim to be as knowledgeable as possible and to learn from those around you. You have to learn from the internet. Is, first of all, Google is free as fuck, so go out there and Google stuff, you know, do some research, read some scholarly articles on the things that you're, you know, actually interested in. Take an e-course, read an ebook, follow people within your industry that you're interested in, you know, learning more about, you know, figure out all angles of the industry that you're in or the topic that you're learning about, but never stop learning. I think that's all I really want to stress. Like, don't think that you're too good to know more. Not it. Number 4, track your progress. I think people, I keep saying people, bitch, this be me. Okay, so sometimes we don't, or even I don't even recognize the growth that I've, you know, experienced, because I'm not really setting clear benchmarks, or I'm not tracking my progress. You have to track your progress. If you want to grow your social media from January to May, you need to, you know, say, okay, in January I had 100 subscribers or followers, and by February I had 2,000, and X, Y, and Z I had this. You need to track the progress of what you're doing. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, what's causing this growth? Are you posting more consistently? Are you being more engaging? Are you responding? Are you actually placing this content on different platforms? What are you doing? What's working? What's not working? And where are areas that you can improve? You have to track your progress. That's the only way that you can see that what you're doing is actually working, and you want to know that what you're doing is working. So pay close attention and pay close detail to the things that you're actually doing, so that you can sit back once you do reach that goal and say, wow, like I took these steps and this is how I was able to grow. Alrighty, number 5, pace yourself. This is for all my millennials, my Gen Zs, or anybody who feels like they just ain't did it yet, or they ain't make it yet, or like they gotta go fast because this person is going fast. Pace yourself. This is your course. This is your journey. This is your time. As long as you're not in a space where you are complacent and where you are stagnant and you're not even trying to do better, don't beat yourself up. Take that shit day by day. You know, when it's your time, it's going to be your time. You don't ever want to rush your process. You don't ever want to try to reach success so quickly that you missed everything. I can't remember the quote exactly, but I was reading this book. It's called The Brink, and it's from an author who he climbs mountains, right? And basically what he was saying that, you know, it's not about reaching the top of the mountain. It's actually the journey, you know, getting up the actual mountain, because you go through so many different obstacles. You go through, you know, high altitudes. You go through it being cold as hell up there. You go through a lot of different things throughout that journey, and when you get to the top, you're so elated and you're so proud of yourself for actually seeing it through and actually making it. It's more so the journey that's actually, you know, fulfilling, opposed to that end goal. If you try to skip through the journey, you try to skip through the process, you won't even have the tools. You won't be equipped with the tools to handle your success. Pace yourself and understand that you just gotta take your time. Like everything, like nothing is going to happen overnight. And if you want overnight success, you don't want success. You want instant gratification. You want something that's gonna come quick. And when something comes quick, it goes just as fast. Like who the fuck wants to be a overnight sensation? I don't want to be one of those people that make one song and that's it. Like that, it was that one song, it was good, but they be trying to live off that one song. No, I want to be an artist or a creator that makes content that people, they be like, damn, I want that, I want that, I want that. Aim to be someone who creates in a space where it's good, you know, and it's not rushed. Nobody wants that rush stuff. Pace yourself. Take your time and don't rush yourself. Okay, number 6, eliminate distraction. There's a lot of distractions in this world. Social media can be a distraction. Netflix is my distraction. My bed is my distraction. Sometimes going out with friends can be a distraction. It's a lot of things that could be distractions. You have to eliminate the ones that are literally eating at your time. Like literally, when you could be doing something, you doing that instead, and you ain't getting shit done. How are you going to excel? I'm concerned. So eliminate your distraction, and that shit is easier said than done. I'll give an example as a way that you can eliminate a distraction. So for me, I wanted to reduce my intake of Netflix and my screen time. I didn't want to be scrolling on Instagram, Twitter, so you know, aimlessly. I have been doing that, and I'm just like, what am I getting from this? Because I'm a damn content creator, and I'm not even posting. I'm just scrolling and laughing at other people's shit. How is that helping me out, right? So I would be on Instagram first thing in the morning, and then I would be watching Netflix all day. So back to that routine, my routine does not allow for those things. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I pray. After I say my prayer, I write in my journal what I'm grateful for, and then I read for an hour. So if I stay consistent within that type of routine, I don't have time to be on my phone for the first 3 hours of my day. If you're not on your phone the first 3 hours of your day, you're not really gonna be scrolling all day. Cause it's like when your brain wakes up to that, we're low-key programmed to just be scrolling aimlessly. You don't even realize. Sometimes I would sit in bed and I would literally be on the phone for 3 hours. I could be doing something way more productive with my life. So that's an example as how I planned on, you know, I eliminated a distraction, and I'm in the process of eliminating a distraction. I think it's important that we try to, you know, social media is a great tool. It could be a great place. It can be a good time, but you're not missing shit if you're not on there. So like, go actually do something with your time. And if you're gonna be on the damn app, be making money, grow your business, grow your brand. But don't be watching everybody's life. Stop watching their lives. Watch your own life. Make your shit happen. Okay, so my last tip when it comes to being consistent, I want you to remember your why. I want you to keep your why implanted in your head. I want you to never forget the reason you're doing the shit that you're doing. Period. Never forget that shit, because shit gonna get hard, shit gonna hit the fan, it's gonna be tough. You know, you're gonna feel like you're not seen, you're gonna feel like everybody's passing you, you're gonna feel like you're undervalued, you're gonna feel like this shit not even worth it. But if you remember your why and who you're doing it for and why you're doing it, there's nothing anyone can take away from you. For me, my why, my purpose, it stays at my forefront in anything that I do. My why, honestly, just simply put, I just want to be representation for little black girls, little brown girls, anybody who sees me as an inspiration and can relate to my story. I want to be the inspiration for them to know that they can succeed in anything that they want to do and anything that they want to accomplish in life. That's my why. I want to create content that resonates. I want to create content that's impactful. I want to continue to just be myself, and me being myself allows someone else to shine and to say that they can do it, because I know that it's hard growing up without positive representation. And I'm not saying I'm the biggest role model, okay? I never said that. But I'm myself, you know, I'm me. And sometimes it can be very hard to just be yourself and to live in a space where you're comfortable being you. So I want people to know that whoever you are, however you are, you're loved, you're accepted, and you're fire as fuck. And dark-skinned black girls can do whatever the fuck we want to do, and we're bomb as fuck. Y'all need to pay us our money on time. Y'all need to value our work, and stop thinking that racially ambiguous people are the whole representation of the black community. Okay, and I don't even mean to go off on that tangent, but I just needed to talk about that. And now we're gonna talk about something else. Okay, so I want to talk about persistence, you know, because consistency, persistence, discipline, they all go hand in hand. Persistence is an adjective. It's continuing firmly in the course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. You know, consistency is cool, but a lot of times people can be consistent and it could be trash as fuck. Who wants consistent trash? The whole point of you being consistent, or hopefully I will hope you doing your work so often, or you doing something and reaching for a goal, is that you find ways to continue to get better. But with persistence, that means that you're gonna keep doing this shit and you're gonna find ways to grow. And even when the road is hard, you're not giving up. You know, no matter what obstacle comes in your way, you're gonna say fuck you obstacle, and you're gonna keep going straight past it. So with persistence, I want to ask you a few questions, just two, and I want you to think about these. Are you going to allow adversity to keep you from completing your life's purpose? You know, no matter how hard your road gets, you know, no matter how many no's you get, how many fucking doors slam in your face, are you gonna just be like, oh, this is just not for me, I don't want to do this anymore? And that's not to say that you can't pivot, because I think a lot of people forget that, you know, if something isn't working, it's fine to adjust it. It's fine to, you know, say, okay, maybe this isn't the best opportunity for me, and I will adjust. But what I'm saying is, are you gonna flat out give up on yourself? Because at the end of the day, everyone's purposes, like all of our purposes, they do vary. But at the end of the day, I think that one common thread we all have is that we were all put here to do something. We were all put here to make the world a better place. Some people be fucking this shit up, but I was here to, you know, personally, my optimistic realist ass thinks that we were all here to at least do some type of good in this earth and make someone's life and day a little bit better. So at the end of the day, are you going to just flat out give up on yourself and just say, fuck this, fuck life, I don't care no more, I'm not doing nothing, I'm going to live a complacent, mundane life that makes me unhappy, and every time I do, anything. I'm upset, and when I go outside, I hate looking at happy people. I hate kids. I hate puppies. Is that the type of person you're going to become? Because no. People who are living in their truth and who are happy and who are, you know, I would say living in their life's purpose is persistent. You know, I don't think money is everything. I don't believe that money will buy you happiness, but I do believe that you living out your truth and you living in your purpose and living a life full of compassion and passion that's fueled by passion is what people that's people who are actually, you know, living a life of fulfillment and a life of success. And everyone's success looks different, and everyone's success is not lavish. Some people are just happy to be on their farms with their chickens. So what if people at school told them that they shouldn't be a farmer, and they said, oh, okay, and they knew that's what they really wanted to do? Don't let nobody tell you nothing. Do what you want to do. All right, my next question to you is, how will you manage difficulties? You know, it's a natural thing that people will disappoint you, things will disappoint you, but it's very important on how you react to these situations. I love giving examples. I'm gonna always give examples. When working with brands and collaborating with brands, as you all know, I am an influencer myself, freelancer. I do a lot of different things, a lot of different hats, aka I'm broke as fuck. Just kidding, but these brands don't pay me on time. And that is a very difficult thing, because it feels like my work is not valued, and it feels like, you know, they get what they want out of the situation and I have to wait on them. And it's like, no, y'all low-key work for me. So at times that has made me not even want to do this. But instead of me saying, okay, I don't want to work with brands anymore, I don't want to, you know, do that type of sponsorship, I have to adjust my business model. I have to say, you know, if you want to work with me, these are my rules, these are my stipulations, and this is how this is gonna go. You know? So when difficulties arise in your life, how are you going to say, nope, this is difficulty, obstacle, this is how I'm gonna handle you? You have to take initiative, and you know, you have to be the leader and the captain of your life. Period. So I would just definitely say that, you know, you be very mindful of experiences and obstacles that come up, and just be very intentional about how you maneuver through those situations, because it's very easy to get angered, but level-headed people make the best decisions. Okay, now we're going to get into discipline. Discipline is important when it comes to consistency, because you can be consistent, you can be persistent all day, but discipline is going to kick in, and it's going to be there when you don't even want to do this shit. You know, it's days where I want to just lay in bed. It's days where I don't want to film, I don't want to record, I don't want to post, I don't want to edit. But discipline is going to tell me, Nia, get your ass up. It might be a bad day. You might not feel like doing it, but you're going to do it because you have the big goal in mind. So you have to be disciplined, and discipline is a noun. And it is a system of rules and conduct. That's the definition that I prefer, because systems is very important to have it in your life when it comes to any and everything. So I'm going to tell you 7 ways to improve your work ethic, and honestly just basically some tips on being disciplined. Set attainable deadlines. If I know I want to get this podcast out on Thursday, I should probably film it on Tuesday, edit it by Wednesday, and have it ready and automated to publish by Thursday at 12 noon. Boom. Set deadlines. Don't say you're going to get something done ASAP if you know it takes you 30 minutes to do it, or it takes you 3 days to get it done. People hate that shit. People hate when you say, oh, I'm gonna get it done as soon as possible. And that also shows that you don't really even value your time. No, be clear and just allocate the appropriate amount of time for you to get things done. But set deadlines. You know, don't have things floating around in your mind and on this sticky note and in this notes in your phone. No, set deadlines, put it in the calendar, stick to it, adjust if necessary. Number 2, so you need to create systems for your life and for your business. A system is a method, a procedure, or a routine which is created to carry out a repetitive activity in a strategic way. Emphasis on strategic, okay? You really need to establish what needs to be done for your life and for your business. You know, establish places where things are already done. How are you conducting business? Like, take the time to sit down and just say, hey, this is how things are going. And even in your life, like, all of this can be applied to both your personal brand, your business, but also your life, because you can't, to have duality and to, I would say, to be completely happy in life, you need to be able to have a work-life balance. Like, your life does not revolve around work. You know, it's fun, it could be your passion, but it's more to enjoy in life. But when you're able to apply, you know, what you're able to, when you're able to apply skills and systems that you implement in your business and in your life, you'll be successful. A lot of times people say they run their family or their life like a business, and not in such a strict type A hostile type of way, but having systems in place is going to allow you to be more concise and strategic in your goals. An example of that, something very basic that I think everyone can relate to. You know that you need to pay your bills, right? Every single month. Sometimes you be missing your bills, right? How can you fix that? By automating your bills. That's a system. Just automate them. So now you know that you don't have to go and do it manually. Every month on the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th, your bills come out. Guess what? You're not late. You're not missing the late fee. Boom. You done saved some money. That's an example of a system, but you can apply that to all areas of your life. You're a content creator. You want to post consistently. You made the bulk content, but you can't physically pump it out how you want to pump it out. Guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna find you a damn app like Hootsuite and all the other apps that's out there that can post your content at a specific time with the caption uploaded. And now guess what? You done made your job easier. And when you have systems in place and when you automate your business, now you're at a space where you have more time to do other things. For me, sometimes I even, like, say I need to send emails at 8 a.m. or first thing the next morning. I'll type them up, draft them up, and schedule to send them for the next day. So at 8 a.m. I'm not up trying to type the email. And I personally don't even like to send people emails at like odd hours of the night. I like to work within, I would say, business hours. So what do? That's me having a system in place to automate things. So I would probably expand upon it a little bit more in another video or another podcast about setting systems in place, but that's the only way that you're gonna survive if you find you have to be systemic when it comes to the things that you want to accomplish. Number 3, prioritize. It's very simply put, what's important to you? If it's not important, get it out your life. If it's not important, don't do it. If it's not aiding to your growth, stop doing it. What's most important? What's medium important? What's least important? Put those into take that into consideration, and you need to rank the things that you need to do, need to get done, and want to do. Number 4, don't overextend. Don't overextend. Don't overextend. If you do not have the time, if you do not have the resources, if you do not have the willpower, stop saying yes to things that you cannot do. I'm guilty of this. You're guilty of this. We're guilty of this. We're going to stop doing it. If you can't do it, or if you say you can do it, but you know you really can't do it, and then you don't do it, people are upset with you. But if you say, hey, I don't have the time to do this at that moment, I can refer you to X, Y, and Z to help you get that done. People gonna fuck with you. They gonna be like, okay, thank you. And now you done kept a friend, kept a relationship, because you decided not to take on somebody else's issues that you couldn't handle. Your plate is already full. Stop trying to eat other people's food. You're good on that. Number 5, ask for help. Some people gonna tell you yes, some people gonna tell you no. You can't do everything by yourself. You know, I have had to learn that the hard way. A lot of people need to understand the importance of saying, hey, I need assistance. I can't do this by myself. I want to, I need help. We have to understand the importance of symbiotic relationships in the ecosystem in which we live in. Humans were not put here to just do things by themselves. That's why businesses run. That's why communities thrive, because it takes a village. Everybody, you lean on me, I lean on you. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. And I'm not saying that in in a way where I think that, you know, a lot of the relationships that we have, or everything should be so transactional. But I think that it's very important that, you know, you open your mouth and say you need help when you need help, because if not, you're going to get overwhelmed, you're going to get flustered, and you're not going to deliver, and you're not going to, you know, actually perform your best. If you have a math test coming up, you know you're not good at math, get a tutor, you know, ask for help, ask somebody who knows how to do that really well to assist you, so that you're able to help yourself and get the grade that you want. You know, a smart person opens their mouth and they ask. A closed mouth does not get fed, and I don't want to be hungry. So if I need help, I'm gonna ask for help. And that's hard, you know, that shit is easier said than done, because that you can be very prideful. I'm a very stubborn person, and I'll be like, I got it, I can do it by myself, I'm a strong independent black woman, I don't need nobody. That's cute in theory. It's not even cute. It's harming you more, because you're stressing yourself out and you're putting so much pressure on yourself to perform so high. You need help. It's okay to accept help. And even in like the sense of like getting like therapy, you can't handle some things, you literally cannot handle alone. So if you need to go and talk to somebody about the shit you got going on, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna be an advocate for therapy. Shout out to therapy for black girls. But that shit helps you think about the stuff that it helps you think about things in a different perspective. So just know that other people were put on this earth to help you reach your fullest potential. Stop getting in your own way by not allowing others to help you. Number 6, build a strong team. Back to, you know, having an ecosystem and actually leaning on others to help you. You can do things great, you know, you got it. There's things that you do good, but guess what? There's also things that she does good, and he does good, and he does good. And when all y'all come together and y'all focus on y'all strong suits, y'all have made an amazing thing. You know, when it comes to, I don't know, a car, it can't run without the tires, it can't run without oil, it can't run without gas. Gas does its jobs, oil does its job, wheels does its job, radio does its job. Everybody has a job to accomplish. You know, a car wouldn't be the car that it is without all of those things keeping that machine running. So just always understand that you need a team. There's no I in team. You can't do every single thing, and if you do every single thing, you're gonna burn your ass out. So, you know, the key to building a strong team is recognizing that what you do great, but also recognizing in areas that you lack, you know, being very honest with yourself about places that you're not your best, and bringing people who do that shit really well to come and help you, period. Build a strong team. Okay, and number 7, set boundaries. Set them, because people will stomp all over you, walk all over you, and abuse you if you allow them to. So if you say, you know, my business hours are between this and this, between these days, and people text you around that time, you're not responding, because you already said what your boundaries were. You don't go to a business, you don't go try to solicit a business at 7 a.m. and they don't open to 8 a.m. Read the sign. You know, set boundaries in all areas and aspects of your life. If you don't, I really don't even know how to say that in a more clear way, but literally be clear on what you want, what you don't want, what you will accept and what you will not accept, and make it clear to those around you, and let them know that if they do anything that falls between the areas of the shit that you are not accepting, they're out of line, and you're not doing it, you're not having it. So the last thing I want to just touch on, and I just really want to stress, is when it comes to consistency, discipline, making shit happen, all of that good stuff, at the end of the day, you just got to take care of yourself. You know, you cannot pour from an empty cup, and rest is so important for you being successful in the things that you do. You have to rest. You have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your mind. You have to take care of your well-being. You cannot reach your fullest potential if you are not stable mentally, physically, none of that. So take care of yourself. Take time for yourself. Take time to rest. Take time to be mindful, to be present, to be in the moment, to spend time with people that you love, and to do the things that you love. And don't let work be the you know, the pinnacle of your life, the epicenter and the center of your life. It's great work, you know, reach your goals, but also understand that you have to take care of you, and in order to reach your goals, you have to be fully fueled and you have to be, you know, ready to accomplish those things. So all in all, I hope you all enjoyed this podcast. I'm gonna be trying my best to be consistent, disciplined, and actually making the shit that I want to happen. Like I mentioned a few months back, Thursdays are days where I will be sitting down recording and just having conversation with you. I want to know if you're listening to this wherever you're listening to it or however you're listening to it. If you are on YouTube, definitely comment and let me know where are some areas that you want to be consistent in your life. If you are listening to this on iTunes, on iTunes, let me know in the ratings what are some things that you are working on this year to be more consistent. And if you're not even on that, tweet me or even shoot me an Instagram like story or message. My Instagram is NIABIAFOEFIA, and that's my Twitter as well. So Nia Bia Fofia, that's where you'll find me. And just let me know what are some things that you're going to be doing to be more consistent in your life, in your business, in your brand, and just everything that you're doing. I'm wishing you a very good new year, a very good Black History Month, and we'll be chatting next week. Definitely be on the lookout for a podcast next Tuesday and next Thursday. Be sure to follow Brand Like a Girl on Instagram. It's brandlikeagirl.co. And I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I'm just so happy to be back, and I will be seeing you soon. See ya.